We are live. Now, already, we didn't do our pre-flight. We a lot of discussion going on back here, but we didn't do the pre-flight for the members. And just so you know, those of you that don't know, we started pre-flighting before the live. So
For who?
for the members. So hopefully, members members that were there last time, and here's how it works. A quick 15 minutes prior to going live and just working out the details. We're again, discussing a whole lot today right before this live, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But we didn't get a chance to go do our pre-flight with the members, but that is one of the member benefits is pre-flighting with us before the flight.
Say it one more time.
Pre-flight. So, again, that's from here on out. A lot of stuff to discuss and look at right there. The second comment was R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. And that's what we were talking about. OG, what up, OG Street Racer? No. Where's number 5, man? I need it one more time.
You yell at her like that. What do you mean?
Make it bigger. What up, fam? Doc Holliday, Randall Knapp, Anonymous, Jake is here. Jordan Hammond, love you, Jordan. Good evening, my friend. I'm so happy to have a friend like you. I've been praying for you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Can you enlarge it? Sad day, Doc. Again, that's why we didn't get a chance to do the pre-flight. We were discussing, and I'll be honest with everybody right now, we were wondering if we should go on. I have topics. We had a show. We're prepared. These last couple hours have been pretty crazy. And, of course, watching all of our favorite social media outlets, of course, Charlie Kirk being one of them. So it's, again, crazy. And I can't help to keep thinking Patrick Bet David is, I think he nailed it. I'm sure they all have. I don't listen to everybody, but I think he's a father, a son, a husband, 31 years old, intelligent, never dogged anyone else. He just spitting facts. Just a great, solid American, and it's got to stop. This crap has to stop. So, welcome everybody. It's time to feed the tree of liberty. DC Long, how you doing? Carrie Ann Marie Potts is here. All right. So we are here. It is Wednesday, SFMF Live Wednesday. Tomorrow, of course, is September 11th. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. But we got some great topics. So we are here. It is Wednesday. Oh, wow. It scared me. Don't let it get to you, to your PTSD, ladies and gentlemen. That's real, Anonymous. Hot Rod, always good to see you on here, brother. Hello. That'll brighten anyone's mood right there. Brother, good to see you. Good evening, Devil Dog. So I did run into 2 Devil Dogs. Pretty funny conversation, and I hope and I didn't even think about it, but I show people my phone when they say, hey, do I know you from somewhere? I think I do. And older Marines, you start going over units. Like, where were you in 90, 80, and 90, 2000, and I was in this unit. I just show my phone. Say, hey, I do a YouTube channel. Do you watch YouTube? And some people say yes, some say no. Most people, I think, watch shorts. So then I've learned to follow up with, what about shorts? Do you watch YouTube shorts? And you're like, oh, yeah. So these 2 young Marines. Real young. So as soon as he said that, the one Marine stopped me and said, are you a retired Sergeant Major? Which I thought was odd. That's pretty specific. And he was young. Kyle, was his name Kyle? So I said, I am. He said, I know you from somewhere. And again, I've learned just if it's not an older Marine, it's got to be from YouTube. All the young Marines are on YouTube. So I did. I asked him, do they watch YouTube? And he went through that whole conversation. And then I showed him my phone. I said, check this channel out, and maybe you'll see. Can you see that when I'm holding it up there? And today's youth, right away, he took out his phone and took a picture of it. I didn't even think about that. I thought he was going to type it in somewhere. But again, behind the times, they got it. So I didn't go over the unit thing with him. Where were you in 70s, 80s, 90s? Because he was a young Marine. 70s is for Jared. Was Jared here yet? Old Jyrene. So I went right to YouTube. But thank you, brother. If you're on here watching tonight, I did tell him I think Wednesdays and Sundays we go live. Just so happy when people say something. Happened in the gym again today. Same thing. All right. And I asked this guy, do you watch YouTube? He said, only if it's about sports. I'm like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. A man right there. All right. All right, Carrie Ann Marie Potts heard the sad news tonight. May he rest in peace. R.I.P. We like to say rest in power, Carrie Ann Marie Potts, but thank you. All right, another one. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. What a great person to have to leave this earth so soon. Prayers to the family. And that's what we would ask all of you to do. We've already been praying, texted all. We texted our girls who aren't right here with us, just prayers up, man. That's all you could do. Pray for the wife, the kids, mom and dads, all their family members taken from us way too early. 31-year-old solid American. Another one, John Blair from the UK. R.I.P. Charlie from the UK. No man should have to leave a young family behind. I'm telling you. Horrible. It's crazy to think that 20 years in the Army went so fast. DC Long. I'm telling you, that time goes by. Hello, SFMF fam. I feel like Ellie. Thank you for being here. Adam East, guns. Sad freaking day, I'm telling you. Again, that's what I was just saying, how we just started to go to pre-flight with the members. Those of you that are members are all in green. We pre-flight with the members prior to the show just to kind of get our ducks in a row, if you will, before we go hot. And today we couldn't because we were contemplating not going live because, man. Well, Jake Austin, what happened? I don't pay attention to the news. Good on you. Don't watch the news. Find some good media outlets like Patrick Bet David, Officer Tatum. Those are some of the ones I watch. Megan, Kelly, Candace Owens, right? You get real news from those places. But Charlie Kirk was assassinated, if you will, at Utah College today. Remember the name of the college, Utah UVU or something like that. Anyway, horrible. He was smart and dreadful. He was intelligent and spoke his mind. What happened? It was sad. Again, all politics aside, we don't discuss politics here. He was an intelligent, young, awesome American. Lay Cookie, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Good evening, Sergeant Major and production crew. Sad day in the world when your opinion gets you killed. I'm telling you, that's all he did was speak his opinion. Again, Patrick Bet Davis, I think, said it the best. He didn't call anybody a Nazi. He didn't badmouth the left. He didn't badmouth anybody. He just spoke truth. And that's that equalizer, right? We've discussed the equalizer here a lot. And that's what happens when you're good at something and someone can't rise up to where you are, so they want to take you down. That's what they did. From an outside perspective, from Wengelbert, from an outside perspective, everyone from all sides needs to calm down before things get out of control. Amen. Well said. Let me pull that back down. You're not each other's enemies. Doesn't matter which side of the imaginary fence. Well said, brother. Appreciate that, because that's just it. Doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter what your politics don't matter. This was a young father, son, husband. All right, thanks, Jose Fernandez. Appreciate you understanding. That's what this is about. You're still welcome here. No disrespect intended, Jose. Nick, thanks, DC Long. Again, appreciate you guys. That's real. What a crowd, man. You guys are awesome. Joe, I think you meant to put sad day in the USA, but yes, sir, it absolutely is. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you for chiming in. Sad day. And tomorrow, you already know that the word is out from the president. All flags are half staff. So mine's fixed onto my garage. I got to find a way to make it half mast. It's not one you take in and out. So I'm going to make that baby half mast somewhere. I think I got to bend the post. Professor Big Time, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, such a great man. Joe, sad day. Kelly the OG, good to see you, Kelly. Did you get a letter yet? I know it's only been a couple of days since last time. He's still in good hands. Don't worry. Oh, my heart is broken here about Charlie. Regardless of my views, he didn't deserve to die. Amen, Kelly. That's the community that we're all in right here. So thank you very much for saying that. Tap the like, guys. You better listen to Carrie Ann Marie Potts. You don't want to make her angry. Thanks, Kelly Ann Marie. From the producer, Joe, again, 100%. Thank you for the support. Jake, why am I always the last one to find out? You got to find some good media outlets, Jake. You better not be a gamer. If you're a gamer, maybe that's part of the problem. Zombie, that's what everyone's trying to find out right now. Who shot him? Again, pay attention to good, solid news outlets. All right. Good to hear. Jake, awesome. All right, so ODL. At the end of the day, United States fight for our beautiful country and our beloved core. Amen. ODL, nailed it. D. Chattelan. I'm from Israel. I don't know your stance. The flag behind you was a good indicator once. I can't tell anymore. Kirk's death has extremely saddened me. I cannot sleep. 3 a.m. It has saddened all of us as well, too. It's an American flag behind me. In America and American. Just because the left and right are opposites from DC Long doesn't mean that we are enemies. We're still all Americans, and I love you all. That's it. Kelly, OG. No lady yet, but getting to know the mailman real well. Good on you. That is funny. I'm sure he knows you and your son and everything about him. Again, hang tough. Hang tough. All right, a couple more. Then we'll talk about the topics from Sing. R.I.P. Charlie, not a fan, but it's the worst thing happened. Worried about his kids, as we all are. Cow, R.I.P. Charlie, those poor kids and wife, and his parents. He's young, so his parents are still around. Black Diamond, hello, sir. I hope you feel awesome. Bad news today, Black Diamond, but always we got to push forward. What would Charlie Kirk want us to do, Era? Did you drink enough water today? Look at me. And I, in fact, I got a story to tell you about drinking water. Just had to check up at the VA, blood work, urine, not a urinalysis, but what do they call it? Urine test, whatever. And I put my urine up with everyone else's kind of gross, maybe TMI, but I was hydrated. And for some reason that day I had a protein shake, no coffee. Remember, I limited my coffee and I traded it for water. Before leaving the house, took another water bottle. I didn't know I was going to have to give a urine sample. And she told me as soon as I got there, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can go. But of course, because I just slammed another bottle of water on my way. So yes, thanks for asking. But I am hydrating a whole lot more nowadays. Chin up, Jay Greenman. I'm with you. Vega, 0311, Era. DC Long, SFMF. I got a shirt that I want to send you. Send it, brother. I'll wear it right here on the show. Absolutely. XL, baby. Black Diamond, it's life. RBS. Dang it. I'll take a look at it first before I put it on, because I don't want it to say I'm stupid and it's pointing up at me. So, but I appreciate that. Black Diamond, it's life. RAP 2 heroes. Yeah. Oh, so my urine sample was just as hydrated because you put it on a shelf when you're done. She called it the Bat Cave. Put it in the Bat Cave, and there were some other urine samples in there, and I was hydrated because I'm typically not. I hadn't been before because all I drank was coffee, more coffee, and a protein shake and more coffee. So I'm hydrated. Thanks for asking. Look at Randall Knapp. I drink tons of water daily. Beer is mostly water. And I used to say the same. Coffee is mostly water. So that was where I got my hydration from, was coffee. Not good though. Deftones. Me and my wife cried because of Charlie Kirk's situation. I'm telling you, horrible. It's black and it says Ranger in bold letters. You'll love it. Absolutely. I'll wear it. Am I allowed to wear it? I'm not a Ranger. You give me authorization. DC Long. I'm writing this down. DC Long is getting me authorization to wear a Ranger shirt. I'm telling you, I swear to you, I will. Eric Green is here. Good afternoon, SFMF family. Good afternoon to you, brother. Thanks for being here. RAPCK. Thanks, B. Sergeant Ski Cook looking good. SM. B says, thank you to all that serve and have served this gorgeous country. Thank you for your support. B, if you served, thank you for your service. And if not, thank you for your patriotism and support. Love it. Clavo, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Alcohol is poison. When it's abused, 100%. I don't mind a beer every now and then. John McJunkin is here. All right. Very sad moment in time when such a young American patriot is assassinated and murdered for peaceful dialogue. And he had just that, peaceful dialogue. And those of you who don't know Charlie Kirk, pull up a video, pull up a YouTube, and I'm telling you, he's the most intelligent person I've ever heard speak. Again, on besides the producer, of course. And he's a debater. So he open mic debates. Goes to college campuses and he lets you spill the beans, spill the tea, lets you engages in debate about any topic you can think of. And if he doesn't know or you can prove him wrong, he first one to admit it. I don't know enough about that subject. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to get more. I'm going to get smarter on it, and then we'll discuss it again. But he didn't call anybody a Nazi. Didn't what's that word? Defamatory. He spoke the truth. So watch him, Charlie Kirk. All right, DC, I got you. I'm in. Balakala, RIP. Found this channel. Do not watch this stuff. All right. Again, they're going pretty quick now, and I don't remember how to scroll all the way down. So you got to wait till Kimi Kimi Cocoa Puffs comes in. But you will start. All right, Jay Greenman, hang out for a little bit. Check us out, man. This is a channel, a community of like-minded people. And you've already heard that's probably the most politics we've ever spoke about. And I want to take the politics out of it. It's a 31-year-old father, husband, and son. His life was taken today because he spoke up for his opinion. Freedom of speech. Why? Who was afraid of him? Who was afraid of his honesty, his transparency? Right? You see that all over the place. At the last place I worked at, they didn't like my honesty and transparency because when people are screwed up, they don't want to hear it. They don't want you to tell them. And that's what was happening. So, freedom of speech. Amazing man, Jay Greenman. Do you think Noemi knows how to? Because once it goes to a certain point, I can't go down anymore.
What do you need to see?
There are a lot of comments. Listen to Eric Green right now. Smash that like button. Jay Greenman is a Marine. Semper Fi, my friend. So I tell them my idea one day. Matt Walker, do you hate silencers? Nope. I like them. They're expensive, though. John McJunkin, good evening, Sergeant Major, Madam Producer, Sergeant Cece, Midshipman Cece, Cece family, and the SFMF family. You better give Kimi Kimi Cocoa Puffs her own good evening, or you're going to hear it from her. Muhammad says, life and death is in God's hands. We should not commit crimes like that. Amen, brother. I 100% agree. Who's wearing the pants over there? Who said that?
He said that he's trying to convince his wife.
Oh, see, that's what I wanted to scroll down. Like,
So do you have any little advice for someone who wants to join and become a Marine but is having trouble convincing their wife?
good point. So, Vin, did you see that? Who wears the pants? Because I wear the pants in my family. She just tells me which ones. Drac, lots of respect, Sergeant Major. Truly enjoy your program. Thank you, brother. He spoke. No. My daughter grew closer to God because of Charlie. He was way more than just someone talking. Kelly, the OG, I'm telling you, he talked about family and life and getting married and having more kids and the Christian way. And we don't even talk religion here too much, but we do pray all the time. Whatever your religion is, pray for him. And that's what he spoke about, spoke the truth. We all must put on the armor of God. Amen, Clavo. That's a great one. I have a coin that says that. Yeah, armor of God. What do you think? Again, we're not, no hero. What do you think? Why is it repeating itself? All right, Warren Hudson. Good to see you, Warren. RIP, Charlie. Here we go. John McJunkin, the crew here at OFK are awaiting your talking points tonight. Ears open, eyeballs click. Good evening, Kimi Cocoa Puffs. You better screenshot that so she can see it when she gets here. Navy Chief in the house. Love and respect. What up, Chief? Good to see you. All right, here we go. Topics for tonight. We had a great roll call. Shout outs. Prayers are up. Best MOS. That was a good one. Did a short on that the other day. Best MOS. And of course, I prefaced it with, hopefully you pick your own, those of you who are active duty. But the point was, for young men and women that are thinking about joining the Corps, what could you say about your MOS and MOSs you've served with? And easy for me, no, let me back up. It's not. Unless you've served in more than one MOS, like East Coast, West Coast boot camp, which one is harder? Only person can say that is someone that has experienced both. I'd like to think as a first sergeant and sergeant major, even as a company gunny, I went to 3 different MOS companies, bulk fuel company, headquarters company. That was to prepare for being a first sergeant, going to other MOSs. So I have a good idea of quite a few MOSs. So the question in the short was, what is the best MOS? What would you tell those young men and women? Great feedback. So we'll discuss that a little bit. MOSs, McJunkin. So get your crew ready to ask them MOS questions. Next topic is hazing / rite of passage. Hazing and rite of passage. Is there a difference between the two? Right? Your rite of passage into the Marine Corps is boot camp. So why would you have to go through any other rite of passage later on in life? We'll talk about that. And how illegal hazing is. And how it's out of control. How it gets out of control. Easily can get out of control. And then last one, attention to detail. We're going to talk about attention to detail and can you teach attention to detail? How do you teach it? Just like initiative. Can you teach initiative? And I tell you, I struggle with both of those. I like to think I'm a pretty good leader, but teaching somebody, I think some people either have it or they don't. Initiative, attention to detail. How do you teach that? Because when you tell them to do something, clean up the shop, whatever your MOS is, and they clean up the shop, but they left that same screwdriver crooked on the board. I'm not talking OCD where everything has to be perfectly lined, but it's just attention to detail. Did you see it? Because it's been like that for 9 days and nobody has. So attention to detail. We'll talk about that. How do you teach it? And of course, tomorrow is 9/11. And crazy, I didn't even think about it until the producer texted it to all of us because A&M is doing, Corps Cadets is doing a day of silence. Is it all of A&M or just Corps Cadets? Yeah, well, I mean, they're going to do it all day. Even the Corps of Cadets, no yelling. They're going to be in their service bravos, I think they call it. It's long sleeve and ties, so they're dressing up and observing 9/11. Clearly the Corps of Cadets, but I think just College Station in general. Silence. The campus, that's a huge campus. Campus is going to be silent all day in observance. So very cool. We'll wrap the show up on that. Blood striping was awesome. ODL. I don't know if you've heard my story yet about my blood stripes, but we'll talk about that as well. Kimi Cocoa Puffs in the house. You got a special hello from John McJunkin and crew. I got you back, McJunk. You owe me some burpees for that. No, McJunkin. No donuts, burpees. All right, here we go. McJunkin says the best MOS is the one that you can do effectively and efficiently while acting professionally with integrity, honesty, and enthusiasm. That was the other point is everyone's opinion of what MOS is the best is going to be their opinion. So the idea was to get some information for those, because we have a lot of young men and women on the channel who are getting ready to go in. A lot of questions about MOSs. What should I choose? My recruiter told me I can have this, but that's not what I wanted. Can I wait? A lot of questions about MOS. So McJunkin nailed it. Something that's going to fit you. You're going to do it the best of your ability, and you're going to excel at it. That's the best MOS. And all different sizes. The biggest MOS obviously is 0300. That field is the biggest. So an infantry, a lot of infantry guys on here wrote, infantry, hated it while I was in it, loved it now that I'm out, right? So it's a great topic, and anything and everything we can do to help the next generation pick the right MOS. All right, Doc Holliday in the house is good. Guys, bless all. Guys, God bless all. But I have to take this time. See you, family, on Sunday. Damnly. Doc, Semper Fi, brother. We'll see you Sunday. Do what you got to do. Appreciate you always. Always appreciate you. E-Tool Qual. Clavo, you an engineer? Because I've done some E-Tool Qual. That is definitely a rite of passage for the engineer community. Lost some covers, some good covers on that. Definitely did it. Family, amen, Doc. Appreciate you, brother. Not hazing, Jay Green. We don't haze. Nobody hazes. Good night, Doc. Which MOS is the most dangerous for combat-related jobs? Obviously, infantry. Ray? Most successful. MOS success depends on your recruiter's ability to talk to you out of a dumb decision. So in that one, when that individual, I think it was a gentleman asked that his recruiter called him and said, I got you an MOS. I got you this MOS. Congratulations. All right, let's go. He didn't want that MOS. He was asking, did he have to take it? And I think I explained it, that the recruiters have both spaces to fill. They got to fill certain MOSs with male, female. They got to do what they got to do. So they're just giving you options and letting you know. But if it's not what you want, don't do it. There's Kimi Cocoa Puffs. What is wrong with that?
Do you not see that bright yellow thing?
I do. Yes, I do now. Anderson Ho, look at you dropping in for the motivation and inspiration. That's why we're all here. I didn't want to break a mid-sentence. Thanks, Anderson Ho. Always a pleasure. Always motivated. Let's get after it. Motivation and inspiration. Thank you, brother. Late reply, but I wear the pants. Vin wears the pants. Vin wears the pants. To put it simply, however, I'm just not sure what to tell her to put her worries at ease. So, good point. And right along with picking MOSs, one way you could ease her mind a little bit, depends on what you want to do in the Marine Corps. Infantry, that's going to be a hard sell for her. You're going to be on the front lines, as are all the other POG MOSs. So that's still definitely a possibility that you're going to be on the front lines. You're going to deploy. You're definitely going to deploy. Not definitely, but more than likely. So if you have, depends on, again, what type of job you're going to want to choose. If it's, I mean, I can't go over all 180 MOSs, but something behind a desk, a mechanic. Either way, at the end of the day, you are eligible to deploy. But obviously, being an O1 admin clerk is traditionally going to be a whole lot safer than an O3 infantry. So get after it. Vin, get her on the channel. Let her ask some questions. I mean, just open up, be completely transparent and open about all of it. MOS picked out already with the recruiter, infantry. Okay, if that's what you want, make sure that's what you want and you're ready for it. And then again, be ready to convince her that of all the MOSs, that would be the most dangerous one. So good luck. But really, get her on the channel. See if let her ask some questions, or have her watch over you and ask away. There's tons of different MOSs, Marines of different MOSs right here in the channel. 0651, that's comm, right, Ray? 06 is communications, I believe. And comm, you can talk about them, but you can't talk without them. It's big time Pogue and served with 3-7. So again, those Pogues, 3-7, when the infantry goes to deploy, 3-7 will say if they're gearing up, what's it called? They're gearing up for deployment. Their battalion's probably about 900 when they're not deployed. When they're in training, they got Marines in schools all over the place. Could even dip down to 800, 800 or 900, depending. Right now, the Marine Corps is a little bit smaller. When you start to deploy, when you're getting ready to deploy, I can't think of that. I'm thinking of a term. Somebody help me out. What you call it when you start plussing up? You're going to get a whole lot more corpsmen. You're going to get more admin. You're going to get more motor T. You're going to get you're going to be plussed up from 900 to about 1,1300. So, and that's when they're getting all those guys from the non-deploying units, or the Pogue units, if you will, to plus up the battalion to be combat ready. So you are going to deploy, right? Chances are great. Ray says infantry is so amazing. Everyone's so scared of it, but darn, it was such an awesome brotherhood to be a part of. I'm with you, Ray, 100%. And again, if anyone asked me, and someone did last time, I'm telling you 03. I would choose 03 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. I would choose 03 because of that right there, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. It's different. It's a different world, and I've been in multiple MOSs, multiple different base, division, group. I've been all over, and I definitely would recommend infantry. All right, Anderson Ho. When selecting an MOS, think about one that is transferable to the civilian world. At some point, you will EAS and need to find a job. Food for thought. 100%. Anderson Ho. I'm with that. I would again, things I wish I would have known prior to enlisting. Someone said, well, not infantry because there's nothing you can do after the Marine Corps if you're infantry. That's also wrong, because you can. It's how you set yourself up. Transition, again, why we created this community here, so you can do all the things you need to do even while you're infantry. Go to school, get your degree, get degrees, get multiple degrees depending on how long you stay in, and set yourself up for success. So I agree with that to a point. If you know for a fact you want to be an aircraft mechanic after you get out of the Marine Corps, 100% be an aircraft mechanic. If you want to learn to be a linguist in a foreign country, whatever your passion is, definitely do it in the Marine Corps. Remember at one point for a long time, we were hearing places like Lockheed Martin, what's the other big airline company? They would wait till Marines get trained by the Marine Corps, do their first 4 years, and then go recruit them to come work for Lockheed Martin. There's one other one, because they let the Marine Corps train them. Now they know that individual has discipline, has motivation, can work long hours, right? All the attributes of being a Marine. Then they hire them, pay double wages, and they got a trained individual on their hands. So MARSOC Raiders, again, another great one, depending on what you want to do after. And you want to enjoy it while you're doing it, while you're in the Marine Corps. So again, be careful, Poolees. Don't just take what the recruiter tells you is available and you better take this now. You don't want to lose it. I'll wait. I'll wait for the MOS that I want. All right. Poolee Irwin asks, I want to go infantry in the Corps, but no matter the job, I will try and do my job to the best of my abilities. I owe the Marine Corps and our nation just that. Amen. Which brings me back to my second point about your MOS. And I had a coworker that used to always say, he was a retired Marine major. He would say, you joined the Marine Corps to be a Marine. Hurrah. Your job is secondary. And it is. Again, we talked about it on Sunday. Every Marine is a rifleman. So, nailed it. I already got the right attitude, Irwin. Whatever your job is, do it to the best of your ability. And there I mentioned in the short too, lap moves. Additional MOSs and lap moves. Additional MOSs like drill instructors, 8511. My primary was 1371. Era. Where's Doc? And JTB and Jared, Randall. We got some engineers here. My secondary, I had a couple of secondaries. And that was when I was swim qual, Mike 7 Alpha. It doesn't matter. There's multiple MOSs, secondary MOSs that you can get. You can also do a lat move, a lateral move during an enlistment if you want to move from your MOS to another MOS. Not that easy, but possible. Two factors that have to come into play right off the bat is your MOS has to be full, right? They have to be able to afford to lose you out of your MOS. So and it gets critical at a higher rank. So if you're a staff sergeant in an MOS and they're short staff sergeants, probably not going to release you. And the MOS that you want to go into, they have to be open enough to allow another staff sergeant to join them. So if they're already over budget, if you will, on staff sergeants, you're not going to be able to lap move. So a lot of research needs to go into it if that's something that you really want to do. Anderson Ho says, sometimes reservists will augment the active duty component, especially in the infantry and artillery world. Absolutely. For when you're getting ready to deploy, when they plus up a battalion, I've worked with a lot of reservists that got activated. And that's great for a reservist. It helps with your time in service for retirement. Good on you. Semper Gumby, my sergeant major, always make booger. Always. What does infantry transfer to in civilian life? Great question, Dave Biggs. Right off the bat, a lot of people say security, police, something with your hands, something physical, but it's whatever you make it. That's why you are going to school, tuition assistance, let the government pay for your degrees, work on multiple degrees and do whatever you want when you get out. So does the MOS, is that going to stop you from doing anything being infantry? Hell no. Randall Knapp sent 5 SFMF gift memberships. Thank you, Randall. Appreciate you. Always awesome. The first thing we're doing with memberships, again, we pre-flight before the main event. So if you want to see behind the scenes prior to a live, get a membership. And I think it's going to tell us, Randall, who received those from you. So if you receive them, please give a little shout out to Randall. Ray, thanks for your time, Sergeant Major. Enjoy the lives. Take care, Ray. Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. Hurrah. You could be a lucky recipient of an SFMF membership with access to exclusive perks from, that's Kimi's. Where's Kimi Cocoa Puff? Does that mean you got it? Come here. Allow gift memberships. I'm in your comments. Come here, look. I think if I hit that button, 5 different people got it. I've never seen this message before. You can be a lucky recipient. Hey, should I click it?
Sure. I don't see it.
Anderson Ho. I worked alongside.
Sorry.
Did you get one?
I'm trying to see what this is. What's going on? I don't know where my mouse went.
We'll see. Anderson, I'll read that here in a second. The comment just disappeared. Is your look on yours? Is your name green now?
No, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, it says it right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I had never seen that block before. There's the 5 from Randall Knapp. Thank you, Randall. NB, Brock, John, LL Pool J, and Devin D. Those are all from Randall Knapp. Thank you, Randall. And now Anderson Hose is gone. Could you read Anderson Hose' comment, please? Let's go, producer. I'll turn this camera around right now. Come on.
Mic up? All right.
Mic it up.
Ready? I'll get on the mic. You guys ready for this? I don't think you can hear me though.
I can't. Fouled Anchor is here. What's up, brother? Hope all is well with you, brother. God bless. God bless you. Fouled Anchor, good to see you.
You guys ready for this?
Let's do it. What you gonna do?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
All right, here we go. Anderson Ho says, oh, he's talking to Lacquerhead.
That's what Kimi Coco Puff said. He's answering someone else's
Okay.
question.
Well, we'll tell everyone anyway since you can't scroll up. It says, I worked alongside some riggers. You'll be working long hours, a lot of inspections and maintenance of gear and ordering new components.
Parachute rigger.
A lot of planning required for jumps, pre and post.
You have people's lives in your hands. Good on you. Good MOS.
Good on you for making me get on the mic for no reason. I'm turning this back off. Bye, guys.
Is it too late to join the military at 27? Nope. You don't even need a waiver, Chaser. Chaser Alexander, 27. It's 18 to 28, I think. Maybe 27. Either way, are you physically fit and are you mentally tough? You'd be, as a drill instructor, I love the older recruits because you're more mature. You got some life experience already. So absolutely not too old. Get after it. Go see a Marine recruiter right now. Been following your advice, says Frederick Prussia. Been following your advice, keeping at the grind, sir, and it paid off. I had my first IST last month, made all requirements, and got my second one this Saturday on track to beat my 1.5 mile time. Good after it. Get after it, brother. Good on you. Congratulations. Did you earn the shirt yet? I know most recruiters give that pain is weakness leaving the body shirt, the Marine recruiter shirt, when you max out on pull-ups. So let us know when you earn that. But good on you. Keep getting after it. Ray Norton says, good evening, Sergeant Major. What recommendations do you have for new lieutenants to do while at TBS and MOS school to be able to better connect with their Marines once they hit the fleet? Ryan, congratulations, first of all. And you are at the right place. Predominantly enlisted Marines here, but pretty soon there's going to be a Marine officer in the SFMF family. 4 years from now, she'll be going to OCS. But good on you for asking. And that's, you are already ahead of the game. Having a great, open, transparent working relationship with your Marines. Your NCOs are the ones that, and someone mentioned it on Wednesday, the primary job of a sergeant is to, officers don't like hearing it, but train your lieutenant. And it's mutual, right? You're training each other. The sergeant, the NCOs, excuse me, have the experience. A sergeant's been there 4 years plus. They've been on deployments. They've been in the field. They've been in the fleet. So as long as the lieutenant understands that, yes, he's in charge, he or she is 100% in charge. At the end of the day, the commander is the commander. But it's those cowboys that try to go in there, the boot lieutenants, I'm in charge and you'll do as I say. And the funny quote is, you know you're in trouble when a lieutenant says, from my experience, you have no experience yet. And it's just nothing, not your fault. It's when you were born and when you, that's just life. That's how it happens. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The young lieutenants, I'll tell you this. And again, the wording, I don't want any lieutenants to get butthurt. Learn as much as you can from the enlisted from day one, from the lance corporals, from the privates all the way up. And I'll relate a story. This was a lieutenant. We're on the demo range, and a PFC stopped the lieutenant. He was getting ready to crimp blasting cap onto a time fuse. You just don't do that. It's life-saving. And the PFC said, no, stop. Here's how you got to do it. The lieutenant looked up and saw that it was a PFC. He's like, you're a PFC. What do you know? Really? He didn't know, in fact, that PSC did get busted once, but he had been in the Marine Corps 4 years, been on 2 deployments. So learn as much as you can from the enlisted, all of them, all the way up. Seek out the first sergeant, the sergeant major, the master guns. So master guns, I'm new, I'm the lieutenant, I'm motivated. What should I be doing in this motor T community? What would help me better serve my Marines? So be open-minded. Great question. OCS and TBS, those are not run by, but your instructors are enlisted Marines. Tells you right there where their experience is to train those young lieutenants. Open-minded. Michael Romero, hello, Sergeant Major. Hope you're doing well. Many thanks for what you're doing to prepare young people for service in the Marine Corps. That's what we do here, brother. We love it. Uh-oh, you didn't start the clock. Still here, 2400, Jay Greenman. Glad you're still here. Gunny Grainer, not only retired from the Corps after 20 years in the infantry, he uses his leadership skills with teaching and training JROTC cadets, young Marines, and restaurant employees. So any MOS, any time you're a Marine, you're going to learn leadership, 100%, good and bad. Unfortunately, you're going to experience some bad leadership as well, but you learn from just as much from bad leadership as you do good leadership. So again, I don't like when people say, "Oh, you grunt your whole life. You have no skills when you get out." You absolutely have hundreds of skills. You're way above. You're ahead of your peers, no matter if you do 4 or a whole career. Being a Marine, period, puts you ahead of the game. Good on Gunny Grainer. Gunny's taking care of McJunkin. He must have done something right to keep him active. All right. A school by the name town just got another one. Another school shooting. McJunkin says, Gunny's not only a great Marine leader, but a phenomenal businessman, financial advisor, and great manager of employees. Boom. Any MOS. It's those niche MOSs that I think a lot of people talk about. If you want to be, again, in law when you get out. So seek that somewhere in working with the lawyer. If you're enlisted, work with the lawyers. Go green to gold and become a lawyer in the military. So there's plenty of ways, those small niches, again, aircraft mechanic in general, heavy equipment operator, right? Let the Marine Corps train you, work on all that stuff, and then that directly transfers out. But just in general, Marines, way above the best. Ryan Norton, digital taxidermy, or that was a yut, but I got you. Randall Ness says, any and every Marine will instantly gravitate towards leadership and supervisory jobs as a civilian. I have always found this to be true. Same, and again, depending on when you get out, however many years you've done, they recognize that right off the bat. Military. And that's with all the branches of services. I got to believe an organization will understand that you have successful 4 years, 8 years, whatever your time in service is. They recognize that right off the bat. Marines, yeah, maybe a little more discipline. Good evening, Mary Jane. Every MOS plays an important role, 100%. I have arrived at my post. On time. If you're 10 minutes early or 5 minutes late. Where's the hot rod at? Let's go. We'll see. Let's talk, debate, agree, disagree, tactfully. We'll see. I have a question, Mary Jane. Again, read the room. And absolutely, fouled anchor. Went through electricians and journeyman electrician school in the Marine Corps. There you go. Another niche that you may want to do once you get out, electrician school, which is at Courthouse Bay, fouled anchor. A whole lot different now. And it's even been like probably 20 years since I've been there. Different place now. All right. How do I get to serve while being overweight? Great question, Mary Jane, and we've had that on here quite a bit, and we've had Marines or people that want to be Marines are progressively losing weight as they go. And we talk about fitness. Physically fit, mentally tough is what you need to do to be a Marine. But here's what you got to do. If you need to lose weight, lose it. You can. If you can't run right now, walk. Walk, eat right. And again, I'm not a dietitian, but I know McDonald's is not good for me. So you know the basics. Then you can start looking at details, fat content from one spaghetti sauce to the other. Then you can start comparing once you get the big change in your diet. And it's all mindset. Again, take the time to cook, have some greens, red meat, eat good food, and portion control. And you got to move every single day. You got to move. If it's not, if all you can do right now is walk, go from walking to a treadmill to an elliptical to running. You will lose weight. There's nothing. Again, my entire career, I've seen one Marine that had that. What's that called when you can't lose weight? So when people say, no, I can't, I diet, I eat right, I eat great, and my body won't do it. It just won't lose weight. False. You can lose weight. So you got to get after it. And what's the best military branch in your opinion? That's cute. Of course, the Marine Corps. All right. I went to comm school in 29 Palms. Says, let's talk. Oh, that's your screen name. Let's talk, debate, agree, disagree. Sorry. Hi. Marine Corps Engineer School, Courthouse Bay, 1995. You're a young and filed anchor. For the abs fat test, ASVAB. Oh, he spelled it funny. Sorry. For the ASVAB. How many times can I take it? Yeah. You need to get a recruiter now. All right. All right. Topic number 2. That's the MOS. That's how we all feel about the MOS. Any questions whatsoever about MOSs, you're in the right place. Find out. Do your research. Today's technology, you can find out. Hazing and the rite of passage. That's another one it'll never go away, right? The discussion about it. I think it has evolved over years. There were some huge incidences, and I think some service academies, different services. It's there. It's around. And I couple it with rite of passage because that's the excuse every time when the hazers get busted, they get caught. Well, we're just welcoming him or her into the engineer community, the infantry, the comm community, whatever community you get into. And I've heard it over and over. Your rite of passage as a Marine is boot camp or OCS. That's it. Now, again, MOSs do have some special ones. Somebody mentioned the engineer qual, right? And it's a little quirky and no one gets hurt and it's nothing that weird, but you do, it doesn't matter. Those are, I don't disagree with those. The problem is people take them out of context and they push it way too far because they want to outdo what happened to them. And it's worse when you hear people's reasoning for it. Well, that's what they did to me when I was a young Marine. That's what they did to me. First question I always ask them, did you like it? No, I hated it. So why in the world would you do that to someone? You know how it made you feel, right? It's poor leadership. Easy to haze someone. Easy to make someone's life miserable. Anyone can do that when the individual kind of has to do it. Zero leadership involved in hazing. Coward hazing. That's the type of people who haze other people, and they do it because they can. What a poor excuse to make someone's life miserable. Make it a training evolution. Put training value into it. It's a little harder. Right now you have to use your brain. You have to get creative with it. You can still thrash someone intelligently and have training value out of it. That's why I coupled it with rite of passage. Hazing's a bad word, and I'm sure all the branches. You don't. Nobody hazes. You don't, and if you do, you're gonna get busted. So all you have to remember and put through your brain is that at the end of the day, what will this Marine learn from this rite of passage? Is it going to make him a better Marine? Is it going to make him a better motor T mechanic by doing this? That's thinking outside the box. That's using your brain. That's using leadership skills and abilities. Hazing, easy. Cowards, dummies, can haze someone. Takes no leadership whatsoever. Yelling at someone, screaming at someone, getting louder than them because you can, because your position, your billet, or your rank. That's a coward. Make it training. Make them get something out of it. So, hazing right there, Stockton. Hazing is for insecure people, 100%. You want to be the big man on campus and you're doing it because you can. Justice for, it says, I hope hazing is done. And I don't want to be naive, and I don't think anyone should, because it still goes on. At what level and what degree? Depends on your leadership. How involved is your leadership? Do they know what's going on in the barracks after hours? Do they know? Does your leadership walk around during field day? That's when a lot of hazing happens in the infantry, right? Leaders, if you're listening, infantry, get after it. Be present during those times, because that's when it happens. And when a Marine fails field day, let's say a Marine fails field day, is a good punishment for that field day to throw dirt in his room, throw his rack off the third deck, destroy everything in his wall locker, and thrash it even more. It has nothing to do with you. What are you teaching them? You're teaching those Marines, one, to hate you, right? Never want to do anything for you, and create animosity. A good way to discipline someone, if they fail field day, re-field day. Do it again. Here's where you messed up. Try using this product instead of this product to clean your deck. Teach them how to do it. Takes time, takes effort, takes leadership. A lot of Marines, it's much easier, and you feel cool and you look cool in front of your buddies. Watch this. I'm going to thrash this room. Wait, for what? How's it? There's zero leadership in that whatsoever. So time and effort, right? You fall out of a run, Saturday PT, right? And the refield day and inspect them on Saturday. That's punishment, because you're taking their Saturday morning away. You're taking their Friday night because they have to field day, and they're taking their Saturday morning. So next time they'll probably put a little more effort into it, and you taught them how to do it. That's a proper way to a rite of passage into the barracks and being able to do something fun on the weekend, having your weekend completely off. So, does it still go on? Yes. Again, the last half of my career was in the infantry, and I don't think they're exclusive to it. But I do believe it still goes on. I haven't heard anything in a long time. Again, I'm not in the mix anymore, but pretty sure it does. Stockton says, that's a good way to get a court-martial. Hazing will only get you a discharge other than honorable. Amen. Again, and if you find yourself, and here's a bad thing, the hazee accepts it, right? I've been to way too many NJPs where the individual being hazed said, no, it's okay. I didn't mind it. Yeah, it sucked, but I wanted to be part of the crew. I wanted to be welcomed into the mortar community. So I had to do it, but I don't mind, right? They don't, can't be a snitch, right? But it's, the problem is, again, when Marines take it too far, because they want to make it harder. When I was a boot, which was probably 6 months ago, I had it way harder than you. You hear that story all the time. Man, when I was in, again, unless your 782 gear was a helmet and shield and sword, then you didn't have it harder than anyone else. Val Anchor says, we used to get pinned after promotion back in the day. Run the gauntlet when you earn your blood stripe. So, and that one again, unit, love it. I love the pinning of the chevron. And it dates back because Marines used to have to sew their own chevrons on. And that was a little punch in the arm. Welcome to the corporal ranks. Welcome to the staff and shield ranks. Welcome to the lance. Whatever your promotion is, every Marine of that rank and above, welcome to the ranks. Welcome to the ranks. Welcome to the ranks. You walk the gauntlet, everyone hits you. Over time, that turned into, let's see how hard I can hit you. Let's see who can leave the most bruises. Let's make it the worst possible experience ever. Defeating the entire purpose of welcoming someone into that next rank. Blood stripes, even worse. I had a horrible blood stripe story. While I was going through it, though, I had the same mentality. This is what I got to do to be welcomed into the NCO community. The blood stripe. Fools, man. And the ones who were doing it, bigger fools. Well, no, I don't know which one is a bigger fool because it's unnecessary. The knee and the Charlie horse, a knee to the thigh, come on, one time hurts. But when you go through a whole gauntlet of that, the first time you get corporal, insane. And people continue to do it. I know it still goes on, right? When you put the new rank insignia on, camis, you always get promoted to camis, right? Old school now, we don't rip the chevron off the sleeve and then you pin it on. And I've seen Air Force. Remind me, tell a cool Air Force story, how they do theirs, or this particular unit. You don't put the backing on the rank insignia, so you put it in the collar and then you hammer it down. Bam! So it sticks into their collarbone. I don't think that's what our forefathers imagined we'd be doing decades later to welcome somebody into that rank. Leave it on there, give it a little tap. Sure. Boom, welcome to the rank. A little poke. All of it is hazing, right? You shake their hand, give them a little, and that's what I would do. I just give them a little, while I'm shaking that, boom, a little slap on the side of their arm, boom, boom. Congratulations, welcome to the NCO rank. Congratulations, welcome. It's enough. A welcome. Again, people take it way too far, and that's what I did mine in my unit. I thought not too bad, not too many NCOs here, about 6 or 8, and the gauntlet was short, and I'm like, I'm good, man. Corporal, boom, I'll take a couple hits, boom, I'm good to go. I had football practice right after. Another corporal in my unit was on the football team with me. I'm like, bro, don't tell the football team. The football team was full, about 40, 50 Marines, and over half of them were NCOs or above. So I was like, bro, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I just got promoted. I don't need to walk another gauntlet, especially this big, full of a bunch of football players. And of course, being a good Marine buddy that he was, he told everybody. Aprillo Risky, SF sent one SFMF gift membership. Thank you very much. Risky, let's see who gets it. Salty Assassin, receive that gift. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And that box did come up again. Just FYI, everybody. I don't know why I freaked out last time it came up. Come on, son. All right. Ook Itar, not good. We talked about it in the beginning of the show. Not good. Charlie Kirk's passing. We're praying for him, his family. He already made a comment about Charlie. Oh, thanks, Stockton. Mary Jane, I think I've seen you put that on. What's your worst battle that any of your senses heard, saw, or thought about made you not serve? None of them ever made me not want to serve. That's why I joined the Marine Corps, to serve, to fight for freedom and fight for my country, fight for my family and friends back home. So, and all combat is bad. Not one worse than the other. It depends on the unit, what AO, the area of operation you're in, the contacts you make, but never once doubted serving my country. Randall Knapp says, they still spot a fracture in my collarbone at the VA x-rays. Didn't complain then. Hard as nails. Randall Knapp. Bob is here, 420 Network. Hit the like button like it owes you money. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you, buddy. From the producer, questions are fine, but if you aren't digesting and answering and continue to ask the same ones, it seems like you aren't seriously asking, seeking knowledge, but trolling us. You know, we don't do trolls here, right? Read the room, right? Find another place to troll. We put you in the same categories as those hazers. All right. Thank you, producer. Dr. Bobbert, I got back from MEPS today. I have to get a mental evaluation for something I said when I was 15. Do you have any advice for when I go in? Yes, be honest and open, but tell them what they need to know. That's it. Answer their questions. 15. If you got back from MEPS, maybe you're 18 now. Honest and open. Don't lie. Don't try to hide anything, but you're good to go. I don't know if there's a time limit on it. I don't know if you're on meds. There's a whole lot more to it than just that, but honest and open, and only tell them what they need to know. And that's a life lesson for the rest of your life. You tell people what they need to know. And that's proof of it right there. It's something you said when you were 15. So when you're talking to people, you're meeting people for the first time, don't get diarrhea of the mouth and tell them too much. You tell them what they need to know. People want to talk about themselves anyway, so be a good listener, right? Listen and ask them questions. But for that meeting, again, honest, open, but tell them what they need to know, and that's it. All right. Yeah, dude. Hey, man, if you give life lessons for me, what would it be? Right there. Tell people what they need to know. Transparency, leadership. Our next topic is going to be attention to detail. Learn it. Learn attention to detail. If you don't have it already, if it's not in your blood, get it. Same with initiative. Another one that's hard to teach. Teach yourself initiative. We need more initiative in this world. All right, McJunkin says, Gunny Grainer, always treat and train your junior Marines like you would your own brothers and sisters. You can argue and fight, but never abuse. Abusers get no respect, just hate. Amen. Guns, beautiful. And even when you become a parent and you have kids and you want them to be treated by their leaders, let me try and word this correctly. Another way to look at it, when you're treating your subordinates or even peers, treat them like you would want your children to be treated, right? So would you do some of the things these guys that hazed new Marines, would they do that to their own son or daughter or siblings, I guess, but maybe siblings? I like what you said there. Argue, fight, whatever you need to do, but don't abuse. So treat them like you would want to be treated. I hope when our USMC Cece, when she joined the Marine Corps, I just wanted her to be treated firm and fair. I wanted her to be rough and tough because she joined the Marine Corps. So she should expect to be treated harsh, firm, but fair. As a Marine, I was hoping she would get treated like I would treat her. Same with Annie Benani's A&M Corps Cadets. Her leaders are also upperclassmen, but I just hope and pray that they treat her like they would treat everyone else. Or I want to say how they were treated, but that's part of the problem. They probably got thrashed in haste, so they want to do it to someone else. Wrong answer. When their answer is, their excuse is, well, that's what happened to me, so I'm going to do it to you. Wrong answer. All right. Ben is back from sorting through some things with his wife. The main concern his wife has is about my tying myself to the country. No comment on the wording. Sent that earlier than I meant to, but essentially we had a retirement plans to leave later on in life. Retiring? I'm a little confused.
He's the one who said that his wife.
Right. Had concerns about him joining, and then they had a discussion about it, and she's concerned about you tying yourself to the country. No comment on the wording. It's in that earlier I meant to, but essentially,
You should join the army.
Well, again, if the Marine Corps is going to be, you're going to be, it is the most, again, first to fight. You're going to be in the fight somehow, somewhere. boot camp's the longest, the hardest. You're going to be away from her for sure. You're not going to talk for 13 weeks, then your school. So it definitely is the toughest. If it is that much of a contention, family first. That's your wife, happy life. Right? Don't do anything to ruin that. But I can't even believe how this is going to come out of my mouth. But consider another service. All the other services, you're going to have more time, easier on the I don't know. I can't talk about easier on the dependents because even in the Army, all the other services you can deploy as well. Just life in general is going to be harder for a Marine spouse. And have her talk to some Marine spouses. There you go. Find a Marine spouse group and get the ins and outs. Not easy, right? A Marine's job is hard. The job of a Marine spouse, harder. So she's got to, you want her on board. Don't start off like that where she's already doesn't like the Corps. Sir, used to be once a month smoker. You smoked just once a month? I'm clean for about 8 days now. Tested yesterday. Oh, drugs. I was thinking cigarettes. I used to be a once a month smoker. Clean for about 8 days now. I tested yesterday and it was negative on that drug test. Should I go ahead and enlist as a soldier soon or wait more? I would wait some more. And when you say soldier, are you talking about joining the Army? But I would wait. I'd give it a full 30 days. Talk to the doc. You don't want to start out on a negative foot. Stay clean. Stay off of drugs. Only dopes use dope. Don't do it. I would wait a little longer. Sign your papers. Oh, here's from Stockton says, Burkay, sign the papers. You won't go to MEPS for another 21 to 35 days. I would make sure there's about 30 days in there before you take the urinalysis for MEPS. Not from the United States, but I have a green card. Can I join the Marine Corps? Marine recruiter. Get with your local Marine Corps recruiter, or if you're not in the United States yet, get in touch with the Marine recruiter. He can ask you all that, but there are non-U.S. citizen Marines that join and get their citizenship later. So absolutely. Apparently, I'm like 5'11" and 230, not all fat, but not all muscular. I look fatty. I look fit, okay-ish. How do I get the waivers? So you're not going to get a waiver to get in, Burkay. Waivers happen after if you are over your height and weight standard. You can get taped and you can get waivers after that. But initially to go in, you have to be within height and weight standards. So stop lifting, get rid of that muscle, run, cardio, lose the weight. They're not going to let you in. Right there, Stockton says, you might have to do Army, right? If you can't wait and drop that weight and get within height and weight standards of the Marine Corps, you don't get a waiver for that going in. From the producer, Vin, being married to a Marine is like being the jealous girlfriend because the Marine Corps is the wife of every Marine spouse. Yes, and when you and the commander, well, that's your marriage, you and the boss. And all my commanders, of course, I was the man in the family. But you are married to the Corps. It happens. You can't. I tried my very best. I think I did okay not bringing the Marine Corps home. But when you get in leadership positions, you're answering calls in the middle of the night. There's things that you got to do, times you got to leave when you don't want to. So there are times that the Marine Corps comes first, and it's not a good place for the spouse. So open and honest. Get with other spouses. That was a great quote from the producer, though. Good, Burkay. Glad that was helpful for you. From Randall Knapp. Quite possibly check with the Marine recruiter. Served with several in your situation. Yeah, so it is. Definitely is possible. From the 420 Network. Eliminate bad habits and get in shape. Solid, sound advice. Hurrah. All right, one more from McJunkin. Then we're going to hit our attention detail. Madam Producer, my wife just burst out laughing and shaking her head. Yes. So you're both calling all of us a bunch of two-timers. From the producer, the Marine Corps comes first. You, spouse, comes second. That's just how it is. And the Corps thanks you for that. Chesty Puller thanks you. All right. 250 years. 1775. Semper Fidelis. All right. Not easy. Not easy being a Marine spouse. Can't imagine. From Lake Cookie, I think the producer is a good example. Without the rain, Corps makes a tough wife. Example, without the Marine Corps, makes a tough wife, can handle everything that is thrown at her. I'm telling you, the things we talk about, and I don't show enough appreciation, and I haven't for 35 years, the PCSs that she's done without me, getting the kids in school and shots into every single sporting event, clothes shopping, feeding them, bathing them, just the things that go on back home. I have always said it, the Marine has the easy job because someone told me where to go, what to do, who to fight, when to get back. Nothing. Everything's taken care of, right? If I'm sick, a corpsman to take care of me. Pay problems, whatever my problems were, there was somebody there to take care of me. In the meantime, the spouse is back home taking care of all those things solo. So not easy. Ben, thanks for answering. It helps. And apologies for the confusion on the last question. Comments are limited to so many characters on the mobile and send button blaringly close to the backspace. No worries, brother. Again, and I'm not the best at reading the comments either. I can't read that phonetically all the time. But I can't stress it enough. Again, the transparency. You gotta communicate, right? And you gotta be on the same page, and you gotta both want it. Yeah. Strong. The spouse needs to have a strong spine. I'm telling you that. Patience is the big one. Again, I tell you, like my last unit, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines, America's Battalion. The difference in that's in Hawaii. The difference in that infantry regiment was there's only 3 battalions. So the other regiments have 4 battalions. So it's 4 infantry battalions sharing the battlefield. So 4 is, one is back home training, one is on pre-deployment leave, one's in country fighting, and one's coming back. That's 4 people sharing, 4 battalions sharing 1 AO. So you have time. So you're only in country one out of 4 7-month deployments. Hawaii, we only had 3. So it's 3 sharing the same battle space. So it was back to back to back. We didn't get that extra 7 months off. So again, got to be ready. My grandfather-in-law, I see it. My grandfather-in-law is retired Marine Corps colonel, and my father is retired Army pilot. Can they join in my graduation day with their uniforms? Any restrictions on family members? I see that the producer already nailed it. 100%. Highly encourage them to be in their uniform. Awesome. Yes. In fact, reach out to protocol and get in the reviewing area, right? Get seats in the reviewing area for them. That'd be awesome. And in their uniform, 100%. Be awesome. Love going to boot camp graduations and seeing just random uniforms. Active duty, you can tell the younger people are usually active duty, but seeing an old guy, right, in his blues, even alphas, anything, 100%. All right. Murph, 90 on his MEPS on 16th for the Marines. PCAT. McJunkin, here we go. So is my wife. So she tells me what to do, where to go, who to fight, and everything. My gosh, I just realized that my wife is my own Marine Corps commandant, the CO, right? CW, commanding wife. Yes, and we gladly do whatever she says, 100%. We didn't breeze over hazing rite of passage, but keep that in the back of your mind. Active duty ones and new Marines getting ready to go in. No one should be hazed ever. And I don't want to sound like that guy that naive. It doesn't happen in my unit. It does. It does. Don't be naive, but be aggressive in checking for it, recognizing it. Right? When you do see a Marine, he comes to formation one morning, he's got a black eye, and he tells you he fell down the ladder well. You don't get a black eye from that. Maybe, but there'll be some other injuries, right? You can tell right away the type of injury that you see. Don't let them, because again, the hazee not wants to be hazed like that, but wants to be welcomed into that community. So they'll go at lengths to go through it. I'm telling you, my blood stripes, the last thing in the world I wanted to do was be kneed in a thigh that many times. But I did it to be a part of the crew, right? Wrong answer. Poor leadership all the way up that allowed that to happen. Staff NCOs were in line, right? They were doing the same thing. So poor leadership, just know your rite of passage is boot camp. That's it. Only rite of passage that you need to pass. All right. Burke says, thank you for your time and answers. Have a good night, everybody. You too, Burke. Thanks. Hope you're subscribed, like, and we'll see you. We're on Sundays too. Sundays, an hour earlier, but join us again. It's a pleasure. Pleasure having you here. Okay, from the producer, Burke. Have a family member check with the depot protocol officer about getting them seated in the grandstand/reviewing area in advance so they can accommodate. And they're pretty good about it. Call, send an email if you have to. I don't think it's been a long time since I've seen the reviewing stand full. We don't go that often, but we've been quite a bit, and the reviewing area hasn't been full. So good chance of you getting in there, you getting them in there. That'd be great. And in uniform. Love it. Everyone will love it. All right, our next topic, John McJunkin, if your crew is ready, and everyone else, attention to detail. I don't know. Attention to detail. Can it be taught? That's my question. Plain and simple. Can you teach someone attention to detail? And everyone's idea of attention to detail is different. And here's what I learned over the course of a few years in the Marine Corps when I would give instructions. Okay, you're going to go to, I don't know, I'm going to inspect the motor pool. And I did work for about 18 months, Motor T maintenance, general support maintenance company. Not a mechanic, didn't know exactly what they did, but I would tour the area to see. And after being there for a while, I would say, hey, I'd like y'all to clean up the tool room. And they'd come back and tell me, hey, first sergeant at the time, tool room's clean. I go down there and it was cleaned to their standard. And everyone's standard is a little bit different. Like and I don't remember anything specific, but it could be better. So trying to teach that was like when they come tell me, okay, it's ready for inspection, or do you want to come look at it? The first question I would always ask is, how do you think it looks? And that gets them to think a little bit, because it looks good, but it could be better. And that's sometimes what the answer was. Oh, it's squared away. Could be better. Well, if it could be better, take the initiative to make it better, right? How do you teach that initiative? By example. Just like every other leadership trait and principle, lead by example. Set the example, right? Going to the platoon sergeant's office and it's thrash. Yeah, but I know where everything is. I'm sure you do, because it's your mess, but what kind of example does that set for your Marines? Like, man, when I get to office one day, I'm going to have it just like staff sergeants. Look, it's trash. There's stuff everywhere, old spit cups and monster empty cans and set the example. Come take a look. At any time, you should be able to, as a leader, say, here's what I want your tool room to look like. Come look at my office. Any time of day and night, you should be able to display your office to them when they come in and see. Do they want to see a thrashed? And I'm telling them, to get some pushback on this because people use the excuse of, well, I work better like this. I know where everything is. I put it here for a reason. Not everybody knows that. Not everybody understands it. It's that initial sight and sounds and smells. That's how you should tell Marines. First thing you want to do to get over it, not get over it, but get a good positive feedback on field day, it's got to smell good. As soon as you walk in that room, and I've inspected millions of rooms over my time, and if you walk in right away, the first thing you do is smell dirty socks. You just got to know that the room is going to be thrashed. Could be clean, but I'm going to find those dirty socks. So that gets me to looking for everything. I'm lifting stuff up. I'm looking at drawers, flipping mattresses. I'm looking for stuff because it stinks. I know they didn't clean. They may have organized, but they didn't clean. Some people are well organized, and some people are just clean. Some people are both. So, but how do you teach that initiative to always be able to say, or always be able to show them that this is what attention to detail is, right? I can walk in that tool room, and I've been walking in that tool room for 2 weeks, and the same screwdriver is not on the hook that it's supposed to be on. The one it's supposed to be on is open because you can see the outline of the screwdriver, but you have it on the wrong one. How long, right? Walking to and from the barracks to the company office, picking up trash. Take the initiative, pick it up. How do you teach that? By doing it, right? And I do. You need to, because it shows them, man, see the battalion commander, I just saw him bend over, pick up some trash and carried it all the way to the trash bin, back in the company office, back to the battalion area. What was that? It's kind of weird look from the producer. So, how do you teach initiative? By showing it. Initiative. It's got I'm telling you, a weird look by the producer. Kind of scared me. She's good. Everything's all right. It's locked. It's locked in. All right. James Groner, good question. What are you babbling about? Do you have initiative? Do you have attention to detail, James? And if you do you show it? Do you teach it? Are you able to? Best advice I ever heard. Let's hear it from John Woodfin. Best advice I ever heard was in boot camp from the company first sergeant. It's mind over matter. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. It's something that is far removed, James, from people doing things that they know need to be done. But guess what? Someone else will do it. Are you one of those guys? Someone else will pick up that trash. Right? Someone else will do the things that you know you need to do. I'm in a hurry. You make excuses for what you want to do. Someone else will pick it up. I didn't drop it. I'm telling you, never smoked in my life, but picking up cigarette butts as a young Marine, the worst. But I got to do it as a leader also. So when you're in charge, hey, Sergeant, take your squad out and do a police call. Are you that guy that walks behind them? There's something there. Well, pick up that. There's a cigarette butt there. Why don't you pick that? Or are you picking it up with them? Hey, don't forget, get online. I'm in line with you. That's the difference between a leader and a boss. Initiative. Take the initiative to go on, do the things that you don't want to do. And that happens a lot in life and in the service and wherever you are. You're going to do things that you don't always want to do. Leadership, initiative, attention to detail, all those things. All right. First impression lasts a long time. Bob nailed it. Right? Again, you have a new Marine checking in. He's walking across the street and you see him. He's getting ready and he steps on a piece of trash instead of bending down and pick it up and carrying it with him to throw it away. And First impression, right off the bat. All right, Risky says, can you recommend, sir, step before joining the Marine Corps? Can you recommend step before joining the Marine Corps? A little cloggy on the question. Might have been a fat thumb, but can I recommend what to do before you join the Marine Corps? Physically fit and mentally tough. I don't know. Risky, write it again.
What does that mean, mentally fit?
Oh, yeah, physically fit, mentally tough. And sorry to breeze over it, but I say it a lot, and it's common to me. Physically fit, cardio is the biggest one. Yes, you want to be able to do as many pull-ups as possible. I think the minimum is 3. You don't want to do minimum. So have some upper body strength to do the maximum pull-ups, which is 23 now, by the way. Being able to run your first test, IST, initial strength test, is going to be 1.5 miles. I don't know the limits on it. And if your age matters on the IST, like 11 minutes or something, not sure. Don't quote me on the time, but make sure you're well within the IST standards. And of course, you can Google that. Mentally tough, be prepared to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because you are going to get screamed at. You're not going to be able to move fast enough. You're not going to sound off loud enough. Be mentally tough to understand that. Understand that nothing is personal down there. They're trying to make you a Marine. They're not just picking on you. 88 other recruits are getting the same treatment as you. So you got to be mentally tough and expect that. You're going to be pulled from the comforts of your life. It's going to be culture shock. You're going to do some things that you don't want to do. That's the mental toughness part of it. Be prepared for it. Poolee Hager says, a recruiter says attention to detail is observing and noticing things that aren't right and making corrections. Perfect explanation of it right there. You see it, you know it, and a lot of times people do walk right by it and pass it. Every now and then, when I was in JROTC way back, I would have a attention to detail test out of nowhere. I had to stop doing it because now everyone was aware of it, but just out of nowhere, I would write 10 questions, hand it out to everyone and make them fill it out and turn it in. And those questions, simple questions like, how many light posts are there on the football field? Because we PT'd on the football field 4 days a week, out there every day. How many stairs up to the press box? How many flags coming in on campus? Again, just little things. How far does a sidewalk go from the JRTC office to because it used to stop like halfway and we had to walk in. There's just stuff that they see every single day, but they don't pay attention to it, right? How many parking spots were in the front? How many handicap spots were out in the front every single day raising colors? So it's stuff that you see every day, all day, but you don't pay attention to it. And then goes back to our hyper awareness, right? Just like an airplane, they tell you the exits are here, here, and here. Your life vest is under your seat. When you go into a restaurant, where are the exits? Where's the bathroom? Where's the kitchen? So you can know that it's going to be busy. You're going to be coming in and out. All those things are attention to detail that you need to start paying attention to those details. And then again, in your office, in your shop, whatever your MOS is, attention to detail on things that need to be corrected. And correct it. I missed Lay Cookies if you want to read it. Oh, there it is. After 40 years in an industry is from Lay Cookie. After 40 years in an industry that requires attention to detail, I don't believe that it can be taught. You can convey your level of attention to detail to people so they meet your expectations. So in a industry that Lay Cook does, not just his business, but what he in not a mechanic, Lay Cookie puts those big gigantic machinery pieces together. If you don't have attention to detail, like on where a hook needs to be or a bolt needs to be or alignment of something, someone's going to get hurt. A lot of jobs are like that in the Marine Corps. Attention to detail on your weapons system. Admin, right? It all across the board. Attention to detail on someone's pay. right? Leave and earn, your LES, leave and earning statements, something that you're the one inputting information in there. You miss a zero or put a wrong number in something, that's attention to detail that's going to cause chaos in someone's life. So how do you teach that? You can convey your level of attention to detail to people so they meet your expectations. Writing letters. Again, back in JRTC, I'd have the cadets, I had them do a book report and a country report just to see their attention to detail on the matrix that I made for them. This is the pitch, this is the font, this is a double spaced, how many words, how many paragraphs, whatever. I would add all those on there just to see. Half the grade was their attention to detail. Did they put their name, rank, period number, platoon number in the upper right-hand corner and the school in the upper left-hand, whatever the details are? That's the whole purpose of it, to check their attention to detail. You can write an awesome paper, but if you missed 5 out of the 6 attention to details on just the start of it, failed. You've completely failed the attention to detail. Bob, never back away from setting the example. Again, so the paper I show them, all attention to detail. Jason Willhite. I was never in the military, but I'm a firefighter paramedic, and we had a 6-month boot camp and even a hell night. It kicked my butt. Good to hear that y'all are going through that stuff, because what you do as a firefighter and paramedic, need that. And good on you. And thanks for serving our community like that. Good on you. Appreciate your service. Awesome. I always want to be a firefighter. Randall Knapp says, reminds me of a time in 1990, Gunny told me, a corporal at the time, to take out the trash and sweep up. Not a full field day. When he saw my lance corporal doing it, he came back and clarified he told me to do it. I did it. Attention to detail. Right? He told you to do it. Risky. Comfort zone is the biggest enemy. I think I told y'all one of the shows that I saw a shirt in the gym said comfort kills. Like complacency kills, comfort kills. You get in that comfort zone, you don't want to do it, right? You'll pretend not to see it. Attention to detail. A weak gunny. Yes. Okay. It's never the wrong time to do the right thing. Amen, Bob. That 420 Network nailed it. Talk about Big O on here. That's it. His personal Sergeant Major Coyne said that. Always do what's right and you'll never go wrong. Awesome. One more from John McJunkin, Gunny and crew, and then we're going to briefly talk about what tomorrow is. Gunny Grainer says, attention to detail simply being hyper vigilant to all things, how you look, what's around you, what needs doing, what needs fixing, being prepared, never out of uniform or regulations. Here's a way I used to, again, get the cadets on it, is asking, man, you ever step in gum? Man, how awful is that to step in gum? And especially when you got nice shoes on and then it's dragging, you're trying to get up. What do you pick it up with your fingers? You stepped on the gum because you didn't have attention to detail while you're walking down the street. And yes, I've stepped on gum before too. It's horrible. That's just more hyper vigilant on what you're doing, where you're going. You ever bump into somebody, bump into something, but because you're not hyper vigilant, you're not watching what you're doing. You don't have that attention to detail, right? Some people call it paranoia. Nope, it's attention to detail. The doctors call it hyper vigilant, and that's exactly what it is. Be that hyper vigilant so you don't do those things or let anything like that happen to you. All right. Good night, Bob. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you. Last thing I want to talk about is tomorrow's 9/11. Just chatting back and forth with our kids on A&M. I think I told everyone in the beginning of the show what they're doing is a silence day. I think they call it a silence day. If anybody knows, correct me on that. Waiting for the producer to pay attention. She'll tell me what it's called, but they're wearing their dress uniform, their Bravos, I think they call it, long sleeve tie, and there's no sounding off, no yelling, they'll probably still get thrashed somehow, some way, because they're fish. Excuse me. But it is a day of observance of 9/11. And in the chat, the producer even put on there, wow, you realize it's been 24 years. Most of those college students weren't even born yet, which is true. So it doesn't mean you observe it any different. You can still be passionate about it. And the big question that always comes up, but first let me say hello to Ray from Queens. I'm here in between trains. Trains on my way to work. We'll watch tomorrow. Or Semper Fi, Ray. Again, on that train, be hyper vigilant, brother. Great to see you, and appreciate you. Appreciate you for your support always. Love you, brother. Watch tomorrow. And I got to hit this one. Semper Fi crayon eater. You know that's right. Love me some crayons. All right. So tomorrow, again, 9/11, a big question, not a big question, but a common question to ask is, where were you on 9/11? And it is interesting to talk about. My daughter, she said, her teacher said he was in sixth grade during 9/11. Obviously, it's your age kind of determines a lot of where you were during 9/11. But, and then what we've been through since. Has there been anything like that since? Close and sure, there's still, the devil's still out there. There's still bad people out there, clearly. Obviously, what happened today to Charlie Kirk, there are still people, more reason to be hyper vigilant. There's conspiracy theories about all of it, and you can go down some rabbit holes. Bottom line is, be safe. That's the what we texted to our kids is head on a swivel. Always be vigilant, 24/7. Protect yourself. I didn't write this, but don't complete the triangle. We talk about that. Completing the triangle is walking across the street can be dangerous. Crossing the street can be dangerous. You make it more dangerous, especially nowadays when you're looking down at your phone and actually engaged in a conversation or watching TikTok or playing a game, right? Talking to someone a little different. You can talk to someone. Everyone's got earbuds nowadays. You're looking in your whatever. Don't complete that triangle. So don't create any of those situations for you to be the subject of something bad to happen like that. So where were you on 9/11 and what happened after? You know, how did you see life progress after that? Those that weren't born or even of age to be able to see it and watch it on TV may have a little bit difference of opinion on it. We can talk about World War II. None of us were alive for World War II, but we have opinions on it, and it's significant. We were in, pretty sure I told the story before, we were in Okinawa at the time. This was before today's technology, so we had a TV. That was still when we had Armed Forces Network, right? Had 2 channels, and I don't even think we were connected to any of that yet. We had a small little black and white TV that the producer grew up with because, but it was all fuzzy. We had the rabbit ears on there and aluminum foil. Had to, try to get the picture, and it was 2 a.m. It was a gift. It wasn't our only TV. We had a color TV back then. But that's all the connection we had at that time. Again, because did we just move? Right, we just moved on to Camp Courtney, right? So TV wasn't even set up. We had to plug it in, and she's like, "Oh my God, did you hear her?" She was probably up doing some work and heard it. And then, of course, we're freaking out. Not freaking out, but we're like, "Man, what?" It's the middle of the night. Very early morning. I think it was early morning. That's what I was telling Nomi. It's like 2 a.m. Mommy was working. She woke me up. So again, 19 hours different from whatever. Holy cow. Ray, you kidding me? Awesome. Semper Fi, SgtMaj Cece and production team, brother. Man, too good. Too good to us, brother. We appreciate you 100%. I don't even know what to say. You got me speechless, brother. Man. Amen. Ray, keep getting after it, brother. Thank you very much. Awesome. Producer's writing you right now. Man, and that's a red box. Huh? Or is it orange? It's red. I got the color right. It's red. Never seen that color before. Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Got you. And again, thanks for Always supporting us. Always got our back. And watch the show tomorrow. Awesome. Holy heck. Thank you so much. Takes a lot to make me speechless. That was a little bit of dig on me. Thank you, Ray. From Queens, era. Semper Fi, my friend. It's Marine Corps red, says McJunkin. It's the computer, though. It looks a little orange to me, but I got it. Era. Man. Raise the man. Right there. Lake Cookie said it. Awesome. Man, I lost my train of thought and everything. What was it talking about? Take a drink. And we're in typhoon condition 3. So if you've been to Okinawa, you know they have typhoons. They have typhoons all the time, conditions 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was a pretty good one, right? The cars are small in Okinawa. Their cars were flying through the air. Not that bad yet, but it was bad. Where you taped up your windows, you boarded up windows, you had to just secure everything. It was pretty intense. And then this happened. And then immediately we saw Marines were driving around the perimeter of the base. They're all geared up. Where was I working back then? At the Staff and SEAL Academy. That's right. I was at the Staff and SEAL Academy working on Camp Hansen, living on Camp Courtney, and we didn't go to work. I don't remember how long, but we were on standby. Base. Yeah, the base shut down. It was closed off. Couldn't get in or out. And again, the Marines patrolling all around the fence line of Camp Courtney. So pretty surreal, right? And still not understanding what was going on until we got a good understanding of it. Of course, word came down that before cell phones and technology where you just got texted everything and you can pull it up on YouTube. We couldn't do any of that. So that was part of the chaos as well. AOL Messenger, right? Those who ever heard that before. Interesting times. So tomorrow, if you fly a flag at your house, if you can put it at half mast, put it at half mast. I'm going to make sure I can. All businesses, if you own a business, run a business, you fly the American flag. Actually, 2 reasons. One, for Charlie Kirk. That's by the order of the President of the United States, and for 9/11. And he's going to be traveling to New York. He's going to go to whatever. Race, stay dangerous out there, brother. Marpetter Desert. I love the desert. But it's a desert. Marpat, still marine pattern. Desert green or deserts. I love the deserts. They seem to be a little more comfortable too. And I spent most of my career in deserts. Every combat deployment I was on was in the desert. So deserts. R.I.P. Charlie Clerk. We hit it early on in the show, but prayers out. Prayers out to everyone involved in that was affected by 9/11. If you can, sometime tomorrow, take a moment of silence, just reflect. I think all of us still, even the younger generation, my kids were affected because I was a Marine at the time. My babies weren't born yet, but it's still part of our life. So take a minute to remember, right? We'll never forget. If you're from that area, if you have an opportunity to go visit or see any of it, be extra hyper vigilant tomorrow. Every 9/11, I'm just waiting until something's going to happen. Thank God. Nothing big like that has happened since, but you never know, right? It's always got to be aware, be ready. 5812 USMC, ditto. Stomp on my flag, I will stomp on your. It's against the law to do that, but same. I'm with you. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, those innocent people who lost their lives on 9/11. Thank you, Rudy. Same. Producer had friends, parents at Manzanar. Just a glance. Crazy times. Semper Fi. Darius Jones. Semper Fi, brother. All right. It's great show. Again, in the beginning, I told everyone that we were contemplating not because of what happened today, but it's you can't let things. You got to push forward. You can't let things like that stop you. Be aware, recognize, and don't let the enemy, don't let the devil, don't let the enemy in stop you from doing anything that you want to do. Keep moving. Always keep moving forward. And that's what we do. That's what this whole community is. Again, we've been fortunate in all of you guys, man. I'm telling you, we have such an awesome community here. And every now and then, we still, just like everyone else, we got trolls. Those are selfish people that are hurting, right? And they got to take it out on someone else. In honor of Charlie Kirk, he would always say, I appreciate a good troll, but not when you're just straight up idiots, just trying to get a rise out of somebody, saying stupid things, right? Dummy. Read the room, go somewhere else. You're not going to get any reaction out of anyone in a community like this. Way too smart, way too mature. We're way too good for any of that. A good troll would be when people talk about my bald head. That's funny, right? Or someone, what was the fart one earlier? Let's appreciate a good troll like that. But when you're just trying to be rude and obnoxious and a fool, do that somewhere else. Not here. America needs to get stuff together. Yeah, and we're going in that direction, James. Going in that direction now with this administration moving. You bald as an eagle you fly with. Love it. My son is in Grass Week at MCRD. Mike, get after it. Grass Week is fun. I don't know if you're a Marine or you know anything about it, but Grass Week is snapping in at the barrels. I did a short about this. You're shooting at a 55-gallon drum painted white with little black targets on it. You're in a complete circle. That's what I call the snap-in circle, and you're just practicing shooting. Boring as heck for the drill instructor, and even boring for the Marines that do it or the recruits that do it, unless you embrace it and you really work on your positions. Just you gotta know how long to do it for. And here's how you know it's boring for the drill instructors, because what they'll do is just pluck some recruits out and just go thrash them for a little while, just to kind of wake everybody up. But a very important aspect of shooting, snapping in. Pistol too. You do it against a wall, paint a little target. Same concept. You're practicing, loading, reloading, jams, right? You're doing everything on that dry fire line that you would do in real life. So get after it. Congratulations, Mike. Okay, you were there in 86. Awesome. MCRD, San Diego, Paris Island. Get after it. Congratulations. Can't wait to welcome him to the family. Grass Week, so he's halfway done, right? He'll qualify next week and then move on to third phase, or do the Crucible and then third phase. Good on you. Randall was there in 86 also. Got some old timers on here. See, where's Jared when you need him? San Diego. All right. So again, we spilled the same blood and the same mud. Mike, Randall, around the same time. Awesome. A little different snap in probably back then. I got to imagine, and I was a drill instructor a few decades ago, but I don't think it can change much. Can Grass Week change? Right? You're going to hike out there. You're going to snap in. You're going to get IT'd. You're going to come back, eat chow, and go back for some more snapping. And again, Mike, obviously he's your son. You've been there. You prepared him for it. So should be a high shooter. Let us know. Let us know after he quals. MCRD, here's Randall Knapp. MCRD. SD graduated 3063, 3rd Battalion. Hurrah. Mighty. What company, Mike? Or no, that's you. What company were you, Randall? August 22nd, 1986. Hurrah. WW, good evening. Good evening to you. We are getting ready to wrap this show up. It's been a... Oh, who asked that? Tefano. Oh, Fano. Fano-tastic. Fano-tastic. Favorite tour. Favorite tour of duty. Favorite tour. Duty station or deployment. Favorite duty station, tour of duty, if you will. That's tough. I tell you, it's tough because Okinawa was amazing. Bringing a family there, living in the community. We lived off base, on base. We kind of got a feel for both different bases. We were there for 6 years, so I worked 3 different jobs, right? Got promoted 2 times while I was there. Loved everything about Okinawa, the community, the work, the proximity to where for training value purposes. And I worked at the academy. I mean, everything was great about Okinawa. Nothing. Got not a single thing bad to say about it. Maybe the summers are pretty hot, right? When you got to wake up at 3 in the morning to PT at 4 because it's already black flag by 06. Weather could be a little bit better. So I loved Okinawa, loved Hawaii for all those same reasons, and even better weather than Okinawa. And then Camp Pendleton, California. Who doesn't love a good oceanside weather? Proximity to snow and the ocean. Tough, real tough decision, which I like the best. Every single deployment had its ups and downs. Tough. I'm going to say Okinawa. Ask the producer what her favorite one was. Yeah, that's tough. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you, Fanotastic. Got a unicorn in our midst. Thank you for your 42 years. Who's that? Retired CW5, 42 years, Army Guard. Yes, that is a unicorn. Chief Warrant Officer 5. We don't. I've done it one short or one something about warrant officers, chief warrant officers. 90% of the comments said never seen a chief warrant officer 5 in my life, in my career. Some never seen any warrant officers of any 1, 2, 3, or 4. But a CW5, 42 years, congratulations. WW2717, awesome. Thank you for your service for over 4 decades. Awesome. Congratulations. And thanks for being here, by the way. Appreciate you. Man, 42 years wearing the uniform. Tell me he hadn't kicked some butt, took some names. Hooah. All right. I've gotten a few advisories in my area to be cautious of highly populated areas since there have been a few threats and some acts of violence and as such. Vin, what area is that? Schlack, MSSG 11, 8586. Right up my alley. Marine Corps Det, FLW, Fort Leavenworth. Had 3 Chief Warrant Officer 5s. I've seen a few in my time. 3. That's a lot in one station. Fort Leonard Wood, yeah. Been there once. They have that's where the sappers course is. Fort Leonard Wood. Engineer sappers, Army engineers. I've sent a few Marines there. Not often. It was hard to get in, but the real sapper course is Fort Leonard Wood. The 2 24-month deployments to Iraq and 2 24-month deployments to Afghanistan. 24-month deployment.
Sounds like a vacation.
Producer said, sounds like a vacation. 2-year tour, 2-year deployment. Different. I know you get leave. You got leave at least once, right? And I think I heard you kind of get to choose when you want to take it. And some people make the mistake of making it early because you're sick of it, but then you have the back end. Good on you, brother. Thank you for your service. 2 24-month deployments. Man, you missed birthdays. Igor K., Semper Fi Marine, E6 Marine, active duty, currently deployed but can't state my deployment location. Secret Squirrel, Igor K. Thanks for being here, brother. Staff Sergeant, active duty, currently deployed but can't state my deployment. Awesome. Like and subscribe. Get your buddies on that deployment on the channel. Talk about what you can. We're all interested in a deployed Marine. We love you. We hope you stay safe. Be aggressive, but be safe. And we can't wait till you get back. If there's an address, you still do care packages. I don't know if you're top secret, maybe you can't. But thanks for protecting our freedoms, brother. Engineers and Motor T, CBRN. Love a good CBRN Marine that walks into the gas chamber with no gas mask on. Random F said, we didn't have Chief Warrant Officer 5 Marines when I was in. They did before, I believe, and again now. Awesome. When was that? I didn't know they didn't have some for a while. Excuse me. How much do I know, really? Yeah, true. When I was a young Marine, I didn't know much except what was directly in front of me. That was it. Now I got one bad eye, so I can just see half of more than I did. Terminator 07, RIP Charlie Kirk. Yes, we hit that hard in the beginning, and we are praying for his family, 100%. I know it's been a while, but being as a civilian that lives in the immediately area, do you have a take on the DC helicrash from a few months ago? I'd like to pick brains about it. I'm nowhere near in the air wing, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it. My initial thought was that the pilot of the helicopter should have been able to avoid it. And I stopped watching it when it was big news. I remember for a while, and I was trying to watch and see how in the hell could she not see an airplane, right, as big as it is. But again, never a pilot, have no experience to go off of. All right, Vin, Lower Tennessee. Whoa, Lower Tennessee through the south central and southeastern areas, and I believe down into Atlanta, Georgia area. Then again, that last place always has something going on. Just about. Again, be safe out there, everyone. You never know. You saw the subway murder in Utah, Charlie Kirk today. Be safe. Be aggressive, but be safe. Be vigilant. Again, the text to my, nothing harder than being a parent and not having all your kids. I want to protect each and every one of them all day, every day. But they're adults and they're moving on. So you just got to hope and pray. And prayer works. Everybody, trust me that they'll be fine. But it's on you as well. Be hyper vigilant all times, 100%. Random F says, February 1st, 92 is the date of the Marine Chief Warrant Officer 5. I left in March 92. Wow. Yeah, see, I was oblivious. Back in the 90s, I was Sergeant, Staff Sergeant. 92, is that, we're in Hawaii. Yeah, I just got to Hawaii. Interesting. Micah, what was the most thrilling experience you had in the Marines? Every single day as a Marine is thrilling and exciting. All right, way too many. Again, not too many bad. Poor leadership is the worst thing about the Marine Corps. Poor leaders. And again, even worse when you retire, you get out and you work for retired Marines, and they're poor leaders. Even worse, horrible. Other than that, being a Marine is every day. Every day is a holiday. Every meal is a feast. All right. How would I join without failing the psych test? Be ready for it, Waylon. Know what you got. know what you got to do. In the UK, all right. De La Cuesta used to be my teacher at Capole High School. ROJROTC. Get some. Get after it. Keep pushing forward. Discipline. Give a hoorah. Hoorah. Yeah. Get after it. De La Cuesta. What are you doing now? Quickly tell us, because I'm landing this helicopter. It's been a wild and crazy ride. Love all y'all. Appreciate everything that you've been doing for us, your support. Ray from Queens, good on you, brother. Wow. Awesome. And we will see y'all. Today's Wednesday. We'll see y'all on Sunday. Be safe. Observe tomorrow. 9/11. Moment of silence. Semper Fi.